What is up, everybody? This is Mason with the Next Guy Up podcast. I got Tinsley, the Titan hater here. I got Zach, and we are ready to go. We are ready. We got some heated conversations that went on over the past couple days that we're going to get to. So we're really excited about that. Boys, how are we doing?
Great.
Ready to roll.
Mason spoke of the bear here.
I never would.
Just a little bit. We have a debate coming up. This came out of a group text we're in. Shout out to the Next Guy Up fan club. You know who you are. And if you want to join this group text, just let us know. Maybe we should make a group text for all of our listeners.
I would say the Discord, but the Discord is infiltrated by bots every waking moment of the day.
Who knew it was so hard to keep the Discord just literally to only humans instead of
we
robots,
get fake bots in there every day asking if we want to buy their picks.
Tins made some inflammatory comments about one of the Titan greats, I will say.
Don't even get me started.
I would have let it go if Tins wasn't making fun of the dead a little bit. He was doing a little bit of slandering someone who is no longer with us.
I did not say anything bad about Steve McNair.
We're gonna go back to the receipts in a sec. It's okay. You don't have to defend yourself.
I did.
We're coming.
I could have.
Okay. We'll get there. You implied some things.
I implied that he's the greatest Titans quarterback ever. That's what I said.
You said he accomplished a lot on and off the field, and I think we all knew what that implied. So that's coming. I'm here to defend Steve McNair's honor on this podcast. So we have a debate coming. That's just so you know. I think it's gonna be a fun one. And then we have some other stuff, right? We have
I said that honestly.
Yeah, that was the main reason. I was like, I can't let him get away with this. He could say anything he wants to about Will Levis. He could slander Marcus Mariota or Vince Young. Listen, but I got to ride for my guy.
Sometimes I take shots and I don't really think about everything I'm saying. I thought maybe that one would just go unnoticed, I bet.
So immediately I sprung to action and I challenged Tins to a debate on the topic that he presented. He made some comments that I feel like were in error. Tins has been trying to provoke us for many months now, and so we're taking him up on it finally. And so I think this is going to be a fun little talk today. We also have college football. Week 0 is upon us, folks.
Yes.
Happy college football.
That silence says a lot. I wish they would do more.
Week 0 is kind of mid, but we have some games this week, and then week 1 is merely 2 weeks away. So we have three of our. We're down to our final 6 SEC teams to cover over unders for. So we have 3 of them today. Our 8.5 win over under teams, including your Tennessee Volunteers, and then we are going to talk a little NFL. Mason has some tales to tell us, apparently.
Yes, yeah.
Storytime with Mason.
Storytime with Mason, yeah.
Michigan. Some might say getting away with murder.
Quite literally.
We'll get there. Maybe not literally, but getting away with cheating, yes, for sure. They might have murdered someone. Wouldn't surprise me.
It's essentially a commandment. It's in there. No cheating.
Yeah, it's true.
No murdering. They're all the same. They're all treated the same.
I think it's So we're gonna break that down a little bit. Some funny thoughts came out of it. Just the Michigan name, just truly letting them get away with whatever they want. Okay. Where do we want to start today, boys? Do we want to start with Mason's story time, maybe?
Yeah, let's
get us into that.
What we want to do? Okay,
that's a good.
I kind of want it.
So I've had a heck of a week, boys, and they don't even know. They know a little bit of it, but they don't know all of the what has happened. Sometimes I feel like my life is a movie, and not a funny one either. Maybe funny to you guys, but this is how it all started. So. And I'm telling every detail for a reason. You're probably like, why is he telling me this? So Sunday, me and my wife go grocery shopping. and we pick up a bunch of items. We go to a bunch of other places. And then Monday, my wife is off of work. So Tuesday, she calls me in the morning and said, Mason, it smells so bad in my car. I think something crawled up in the engine and died. I was like, oh, there must have been like a rat or something. So I grabbed a pair of kitchen tongs because I was expecting to like pull something out of the engine and some Febreze. I didn't have enough time in the morning, so I go on my lunch break. I open up the door, and this smell, I'm not kidding, guys, worst smell I've ever smelled in my life. And I almost threw up. And I was like, this is too strong to be like in the engine or like in the front of, like, this smells like it's in the vehicle.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me do a clean sweep. So I like had to hold my nose. It was that bad. I checked the front row, checked the back row, and then I opened up the hatch, and there was a sweatshirt sitting there. And I pulled the sweatshirt, and there is 2 large cases of raw chicken, like $20 worth, sitting there. Jump back to the story. We took the dogs on a walk, and smart me, for some reason, was like, I don't want the sun to be beaming down on the chicken, so I'm just going to throw my sweatshirt over it. And when I was unloading all the groceries, I clearly forgot the chicken. Well,
Wait, you didn't unload the chicken right away? You decided to leave it in the car?
I didn't decide to. Oh, no, we were at the park. We were not at home. Yeah, we were at the park. We went to Cane Creek. So we took the dogs. Took Thanos. Anyways, so it smelled so bad. I almost we could not get the smell out of the car. I had to go to Walmart, bought $15. So $20 in a hole on chicken, raw chicken. Now you're wondering, what, Mason, why didn't you notice it? Well, we had other things planned that was not the chicken until Wednesday, which is the day before we discovered the chicken. So bought $15 worth of just fragrance stuff that I didn't know what I was doing. So it just like added the smell on top of the chicken. So I think I sent it in the group text, and I think it was Tins that said, well, you're going to sell the car. Was that you?
Yeah.
And I almost thought we would have had to. A coworker said buy ozone spray and like spray that in there. And well, anyways, so, and this is an important part to the story. So Tuesday night, turn the key over to roll the windows down. Why are you telling me this? You're about to find out. Spray the ozone spray, everything. Wednesday morning, Jalen wakes me up and says, hey, my car battery is dead. Because I left the car, the key turned over. So I had to take her to work because I was afraid that if we jumped it off, which she was already running late, but if I jumped off the car and then tried to take she tried to take the car, and what happens if the car's stuck there? Like it was on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know the battery situation. Like I didn't know if I was able to just jumpstart. I didn't know if it was a dead battery from now on. Like I didn't know. So I was like, so I took her to work. Had to pick her back up. It was a good thing that all of that transpired because I actually since I was waiting on her, I went and picked up Pokemon cards. So that was the best part of the whole thing.
Wow, what a
Got
win!
some hits, like a $40 card and a $50 card. So
it's also a good thing you live really close to town, like where you guys work too. Like it's not a really big detour.
Yeah, it was like 15 minutes from work. Is that what you're saying? I'm confused.
Yeah, I feel like you live really. I mean, you're 30 minutes from my house. That's how long it takes me to get to your house.
Yeah. So we had that go on. It was a whole issue, and then yesterday I'm standing on the pool deck, and all of a sudden, just like I look down, I'm being stung insane amount of times by hornets everywhere. To a point where I just jump in the pool. I had like 5, like my ankle is like a tennis ball right now, like swollen up. So I was just spraying some. Have you guys ever had to like spray a hornet's nest or anything like that? Because I was spraying it and they just start running towards you, usually flying towards you. But that's been my week so far. So on the struggle bus, just a tad.
Wow. Sounds like you used up all your luck on those Pokemon cards, and now you're just
That's exactly what happened. Because I ripped another box today and got nothing but
you got nothing.
Hot garbage. Yeah.
One time we
So
went grocery shopping and I completely forgot all of the groceries in the car for like 4 hours. It may have been longer than that. Like I was just like, where are the groceries? And then I just like, it was one of those things where you're just like doing something else and then it just dawns on you.
Yeah.
Where like I was doing something random and then all of a sudden I was like, holy cow, I never got those groceries out. And it was like a dangerous amount of time later, but I was like, it's probably fine. I think there's like milk in there and there's some stuff that's like, that's been a long time for milk. No, it was fine though.
Did you
You're
drink
still
it?
alive.
Did you eat
Yes,
it?
definitely.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
his stomach's like a machine, so
It's fine, guys.
Tinsley,
It was like a
leave
whole
anything in the car?
grocery.
No, I've never done anything like that.
He's a professional.
I mean, I got 31 years like without having to do it, like without doing anything like this, but it had to be chicken. I couldn't have left just like
0 through 18. You don't get to claim those as life experience.
Good point.
I don't think 7-year-old Mason is in charge of making sure the groceries get put up from the car.
You don't know what I'm in charge of. Why couldn't I just left like a box of pasta or something? It had to be the chicken, but that was, and it was like stuck in my nose too. Like I've never understood that until like I was in Walmart and I was still smelling it. I was like, is it on me? Like it was. Ooh.
Ugh.
So
That's pretty tough.
So the MVP of the whole thing is Jalen for driving to work with that smell because it was rough.
Yeah,
so
I would have been taking the spark. Like,
Yeah,
sorry,
I
you
would
did
have-
this.
You did this.
That is exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, I would definitely be driving the car with the smell, and those windows would not be rolled up for like 2 weeks straight. I would just be like, we're gonna let it air out.
Yeah, that spray's like worked like there's a process to it. You spray it in there and you lock it in there, and then after that, and it's like dangerous to like you're not like it's some type of chemical compound. Yeah, some type of chemical compound that eliminates the smell.
It like attacks the smell.
Sounds like it's dangerous and could mutate you and turn you into like a superhero.
Could be fun.
We'll find out. OZM guy here. You haven't. I don't know what my powers would be, but we'll figure that out. Anyways, that is my story that's story time with Mason. Thank you.
I like that. Thank you, Mason.
Yeah. Wow.
Electric content.
Send us your stories of leaving groceries in the car. I would love to hear them. We'll read them on the pod.
We will.
I had a coworker that potato rolled under the seat, and you know how it has the like roots, the tentacle things that kind of come out. It like grew into the floorboard.
That's
so
awesome.
That was a nice little story.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. It was part of the car now. All right, there we go. Something a little fun just to throw out before we go at each other's throats here in a minute. Some debate.
Great.
Okay.
What a segue.
I think it's debate time. So I don't know. We don't have to do like a formal topic here. I don't think we need like a formal back and forth. I will tell you, I really considered inviting my dad onto this pod and surprising Tim with it and letting him moderate it. He's a judge for anyone who doesn't know. It would have been fun because he's a Titans fan as well, and he's not going to take kindly to these Steve McNair remarks from Tins. So let's just read the full tweet, or not the tweet. Sorry, it was a text. Yeah, it was a text. This was unprovoked. This was simply in response to some Trevor Lawrence discourse. He said, "This is talking about Trevor Lawrence. He's accomplished more in his 4 seasons than any Tennessee Titans quarterback not named Steve McNair, who accomplished a lot on and off the field."
Yeah, that last line wasn't needed.
So, like I said, Tins he's been trying to get it under our skin for a while. He's talked a lot of Titans trash. I don't have a lot.
I've talked a lot of Mason and Josh not wanting Cam Ward trash.
You have talked a lot of fun at our coaching situation, which is not good. But I finally felt like I had something I could actually argue against, which is why I've chosen this one, because I feel like I've got a pretty decent argument here.
Yeah, I'll set myself up there.
So He's accomplished more in his 4 seasons than any Tennessee Titans quarterback not named Steve McNair. So that is the basic basis of our argument. Mason and I are going to be trying to disprove that statement. Tins, do you have any? Do you want to do opening remarks? Do you want us to do opening remarks? How do you feel?
I think I would like to apologize for the off the field comments. That wasn't great. Yeah, that wasn't great. I saw the commercial or the preview for Steve McNair's documentary coming out on Netflix. It was fresh on my mind.
Okay.
So yeah, but that was an unprovoked shot that didn't need to be taken. I think we all know what I'm referring to there.
What's he referring to, Zach? I don't.
I mean, I can get us a good clip right now.
No, we're not talking about it. It's a legend.
Yeah, Steve McNair, legend.
This is not that Steve McNair.
No, this is not, because
like I said, honoring his legacy.
He is the best Titans quarterback.
That's true.
And that you guys have ever had. And my comment was that Trevor is better than any other quarterback the Titans have had outside of him.
Okay.
So that is the premise of this contract or this debate.
That's all we're doing.
That's all we're doing.
We're not talking contracts.
We're not talking about anything else.
We're not talking. Yeah, it's just
we're talking about Trevor Lawrence versus Jake Locker, Kerry Collins, Marcus Mariota, Zach Mettenberger, those guys.
Vince Young.
Yep.
Because there is a quarterback you guys are about to throw at me, and all I would like to say is he was drafted by the Dolphins and played there longer. So if he was going in the Hall of Fame, he'd go in as a Dolphin. So is he a Titans quarterback? Who's to say? I don't know.
Would he actually be going as a Dolphin?
Who's to say? You don't know.
I'm here to say. Okay, so my basis of my argument, I will tell you. I think there's 2 ways I can go about this. I think both are good enough to win this debate. I think there's a storyline. There is a story of Tannehill coming in and reinvigorating a team who was on the brink of the season falling apart, who led his team, who was 2-4 when he took the reins of the starting job, led them to an AFC championship game where they were just like a touchdown away from going to the Super Bowl. 2-4 start. I think that alone, I'm not sure Trevor Lawrence has done anything to even compete with just that. One comeback player of the year that season in 2019. But also he owns essentially every single other stat. I only even pulled 4 years for Tannehill, just so you know, Tins. And I pulled his 4 seasons, 2019 to 2020, compared to Trevor Lawrence's 4 seasons. I'll say they played a very similar number of games because Tannehill got injured his last season as well. Tannehill has played 57 games for the Titans, and Lawrence has played 60 games for the Jags so far. So, do you want to talk about stats? What do you want to talk about? Where do you want to go with this?
I would like to go with who had the better team, who had the better situation that they went into.
Okay.
Ryan Tannehill went to a team.
We were 2-4.
When he took over the team. Following a playoff team. Marcus Mariota had led the Tennessee Titans to a playoff wild card spot, almost beating the Chiefs. Caught his own touchdown pass in a playoff game. Ryan Tannehill comes in the next year. Things aren't going well.
That's not true. That was in 2017.
Okay.
2018, they did not make the playoffs.
So 2018, they were bad. And that's why they traded for Ryan Tannehill. Right? Okay.
We placed 3rd in the AFC South, 9-7.
Yeah, that's wow. 9-7 was 3rd.
I know, that's something
crazy.
It's back when the division meant something.
That was Vrabel's first season.
Vrabes.
Wow. Speaking of Vrabes, what a great head coach.
No, changing the subject.
No, talk about it. Let him cook, Mason.
I'm talking. This is what I'm saying. The Titans organization they finished 3rd that year. They get Tannehill as a backup quarterback. He was supposed to be a backup quarterback. The Dolphins were moving on from Tannehill. He had a lot of experience, played for a long time. Marcus Mariota, the wheels are falling off. They decided to turn to Ryan Tannehill. This is a team with Derrick Henry, Jarrell Casey on defense as a Pro Bowler. former All-Pro left tackle Juwan Taylor. The whole offensive line was good. You had the guy who plays Conklin, Jeremy Conklin. I think that's what his name is. Delaney Walker, Jared Cook, AJ Brown is around.
Never heard of him.
Ever heard of him? I mean, we're acting like this is a Ryan Tannehill who got drafted to the number 1 first overall team with a terrible head coach, first-time head coach named Urban Meyer. Wow, that'd be really hard to have for your rookie season. Throwing to absolute no ones. Ryan Tannehill was a seasoned vet coming into a good situation with a great head coach. And yeah, he thrived in that. You would expect him to. I would expect if things went bad for Trevor this year and we traded him to a competent organization that he would flourish because if things were put well around him instead of the way it's been so far. His rookie year, his top receivers are Tavon Austin. You guys know who Tavon Austin is? He wasn't in the league the year before. He signed on the Jaguars team because Urban Meyer said, Tavon Austin, he was really good in college. Let's go get him. Laquarius Treadwell, do you guys know who that is? No, you don't. He was out of the league the very next year. Jaguar, one of the Trevor Lawrence's number 1 receivers for his rookie year. Did things get better? Yes. Doug Peterson comes in the next year. That was supposed to be a launching point. His second year was his best year so far in a competent system around him. Things fell apart. Injuries started piling up. It is what it is.
Okay, let me say a couple things. I'll say first, the Titans had made the playoffs one time between 2009 and 2018. One time in the entire stretch.
Yeah.
Tannehill came in. And I think there's an argument that when you talk about who did more for the organization, that he came into a system that had a very good team around him, and he took them to the next level that would not have happened if he had not been placed into that role. Without him, there may be a fringe wild card team instead of the number 1 overall seed the next season. They go to 3 straight playoffs, 2019, 2020, 2021. They win 2 playoff games in that stretch, which, I mean, they lost a couple of very tight ones, but he did make the AFC Championship game his first. And he really, I mean, did some things there that no one else could have done. I want to talk about a couple of things because you talked about the offensive line, Tins.
Yes.
If that tracks, in all of their games, who would you say got sacked more? Who had more sacks against them in that stretch?
I don't know. I guess you'd say Ryan Tannehill.
I'm going to tell you Tannehill took 135 sacks compared to only 112 for Trevor Lawrence in the same number of games.
How many games did Ryan Tannehill miss due to injury in his force? Like, did you match up? Is it game for game? Is that what we're talking about? You said you did the mapped out.
57 games for Tannehill, 60 games for Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, well,
straight up.
That's
I only picked 4 seasons for Tannehill. I will tell you that Tannehill's record over that span was 36-19. Trevor Lawrence's record 22-38.
Yep.
I'll tell you that Tannehill threw 89 touchdowns compared to Lawrence's 69. I'll tell you that Tannehill only threw 33 interceptions compared to 46 for Trevor Lawrence.
Guy's a gunslinger. What can I say?
So I will tell you also, Trevor Lawrence does lead in one category that I pulled. I'm just going to, in transparency, he threw for about 5 more yards per game, 230 compared to 225. So shout out to him. But completion percentage, higher for Tannehill, 66 compared to 63. Yards per attempt, almost 8 compared to almost 7. QBR average over the 4 seasons, if we're talking about just quarterback play here, the average over 4 seasons for Tannehill was 62.45, and for Trevor Lawrence was 52.7, almost 10 points different. Do you have any thoughts about any of those stats?
No, those all check out for a guy playing on a bottom tier roster.
Okay.
For 4 years.
Okay.
You look at all the coaches' polls.
A bottom tier roster.
The Jaguars roster. Let me put it this way: do we ever get compensation picks? No, because when our guys leave for free agency, who goes and signs them? Who's signing free agent Jaguar players? No one. We have a bad roster. It's very bad.
Mm.
Our defense the last 2 years, look at that stat for me. Where's the Titans defense during Ryan Tannehill's years ranked compared to the Jaguars defense Trevor's whole career?
I wasn't thinking about the defenses because I was looking at quarterback play,
right,
not
because,
how good the teams were.
Right, because the Titans have
not
an
sure how your defensive
team.
performance affects your quarterback play.
You'll see. Watch. When a
it affects
team
wins, it doesn't affect anything else. I don't know.
We're accomplishing things. It's wins. Quarterbacks get judged on wins and losses.
But I gave you many other stats that had nothing to do with team.
He gave you like 10 other stats.
Tannehill had way better stats. He also had a running back behind him called Derrick Henry, who could hand the ball off to and take pressure off of him. If you can't run the ball, if you cannot run the ball in this league, you cannot be successful. If every team is not scared of you running the ball, they're going to drop everyone back in coverage. They're going to blitz you and sack you because they just know you either beat me deep on a pass or we're going to get a sack because we know that we're not scared of your running game. Ryan or Travis Etienne has not been some elite running back for us. We're not one of the top leading teams in rushing.
Okay. Mason, I sent you a text the other day.
I think a Hall of Fame running back helps when you have a quarterback.
Read that text, Mason.
The one you sent me directly?
Yes.
Okay. Pulling it up.
Good timing here.
It says, sent you a doc. Oh, wait, not that one.
Oh, my God.
Putting this on record for when it happens on the pod. The only argument Tins will have against me is that Tannehill was a Derrick Henry merchant on in
I'm not saying he's a Derrick Henry merchant.
And he wouldn't have been as good without an elite running back.
It helps. It legitimately helps. If a defense knows, okay, we can't just sell out to the pass because they have a guy who can literally beat us from everywhere on the field in Derrick Henry, we have to play good defense all around.
Sure.
We can't sell out to one thing.
That's true.
Travis Etienne is not striking fear in anyone's hearts. Our run game has been bottom tier Trevor's whole career.
Look, no one here's arguing that Trevor Lawrence isn't a good talent, that he has the potential to be an elite quarterback. All we're focusing on here is the importance that you played and what you've accomplished in the 4 seasons. And I'm just saying that Marcus Mariota was quarterback. The Titans were a very mediocre team, very middle of the road, lost a lot of games. They plugged him in, and all of a sudden the team was elevated. You have a very distinct line, especially that 2019 season. It doesn't matter what the roster looked like. It matters what it looked like before Tannehill versus after Tannehill. What was the Tannehill effect? What made him win comeback player of the year? It was that he plugged in, and all of a sudden the team went from bottom of like 2-4 on the trajectory to missing the playoffs to a team that went on to make the AFC Championship game and nearly a Super Bowl. That's my argument.
Right. No, it's Tannehill. Yes. When I said this comment, I didn't look into it at all. Tannehill did accomplish more. He's won more playoff games, but my argument is he was what a 5 to almost 7 year vet when he became Titans starting quarterback. He's a seasoned quarterback,
but his career was in the tank. He was a backup going into the Titan. Like you say,
a lot of that was
veteran,
injuries.
But
he tore his ACL. That was a part of why he was a comeback player there. He tore his ACL. They were bad. The Dolphins had a high draft pick. They decided the role was drafting a rookie quarterback.
But you say seasoned veteran, but then you're saying he also had all these injuries and didn't play a whole lot. I do want to know.
Very similar to Kirk Cousins' trajectory, I think.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, yeah.
A lot of these guys that get labeled as washed up and they go to a different team and revive their careers. That's what Tannehill did. He was like the first one to do it.
But I will say, okay, you don't want us to compare seasoned veteran Ryan Tannehill to Trevor Lawrence's first 4 seasons, but then you're wanting to compare Cam Ward, which is a rookie, to Trevor Lawrence, which I'm getting off topic, but that was also happened in the group text.
They said, you're off.
Well, yeah, that's all I wanted to do.
You don't bring Cam Ward into this conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, Mason, do you have any thoughts on this?
This was the easiest debate I've ever had to do in my life.
Yeah,
Zach just
Yes.
had to take the reins on it,
Listen,
and
as soon as
it was a win right from the
Right.
jump.
as soon as Zach said this was an official debate, I just started poking around on some information, and I quickly realized that I wasn't going to win this. Ryan Tannehill did have a better Titans career than Trevor has had so far as a Jaguar.
Thank
My
you.
only standing is Ryan Tannehill, experienced player, entering a very good team.
True. It was a very good team. With a
Derrick
competent
Henry.
quarterback, it was a very good team.
Exactly.
Can
Very
I
good
just say
coaching
something real
staff.
quick? I think the audience needs more of this that is not argument between the two bottom NFL teams. And like Zach has an Excel sheet with all these stats, and he just like dug in Mr. Dr. Math over here. So
Thank
I
you.
just for
Yeah.
future I like this debate here.
I knew that was coming. I knew what was coming for me.
And can I say one thing? Because Zach
Yeah.
said everything else. I do want to commend Tinsley. Ever since Trevor Lawrence was drafted, so my time with Will Levis and all these other quarterbacks that we mentioned, I have straight up disowned them, talked trash about them, been frustrated about them. He has been. I wish that I had somebody back me up like Tinsley backs up Trevor Lawrence. He is the golden boy with the golden locks that Tinsley never sees does anything wrong. And
I've
he'll blame it on
long
receivers. He'll blame it on injury. He'll blame it on anything else. He'll blame it on that offensive line.
okay.
Anything but the quarter. No, I'm just saying. Is that not true? Look at the text messages. It's true.
So I will leave you with this. I will say what the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, who has now turned into the quarterback whisperer around the league, says franchises and organizations fail quarterbacks more than quarterbacks fail franchises. When you bring in quarterbacks and put the weight of the world on their shoulders and don't build the team around them like you're supposed to, that is you failing the quarterback. And so up to this point, the Jaguar, the marginal success we've had with Trevor, which is 2 winning seasons, going 9-8, winning the division once, winning a playoff game. Only one less playoff win than Ryan Tannehill.
Very true.
Almost as many as Blake Bortles. But anyway, that's not the point. Is I threw myself off. Is him playing hero ball. Is quite literally,
Yeah.
we had a stretch where we had to win like 6 of our last 7 games the year we went to the playoffs. And all, if you go back and look at those games, it was just Trevor Lawrence hero ball. It worked. We got hot at the right time, and that's been our. And then the following season, when we were playing well, competing for a 1 seed, and then he got hurt in that Bengals Monday night game, it was him dragging a bad team to where they were. So that's why I think that we as an organization, that's why I put all the blame on Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson and Urban Meyer and our bad roster, our very bad roster. I mean, our roster has been bottom tier for a long time.
So let me ask you this: can you go on record and say they got rid of the GM that you want to get rid of? They got you the coach one of the coaches that you wanted. He was in the top 3.
It's 3. No. So I'm saying this season, first year.
Can you go on record and finally say, because
yes, I've been preparing this statement. I've been preparing to say this. But if we don't get where we're supposed to be, if we're not consistently competing to win division, but being one of those top 4 teams in the AFC is loaded. I know this. We got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow in this conference. It's loaded.
Cam Ward, yeah.
Can't forget Cam.
Yeah, I forgot about. Yeah. If we cannot be so, I think Liam Cohen's the guy. I love our new GM. If we cannot be consistently doing that by the time, this is the 2025 season. If by 2020, at the end of the 2027 season, if we're still just doing this, then I'll just have to say Trevor's not it. And that's when his contract comes to the point where we either cut him or extend him to make it to where we're not having to pay him $70 million, which is why his inflated thing for the Fox graphic says $55 million a year, because he has 2 years where it's over 60. And when you average it out, I know that's hard for people. The reading comprehension on that's really hard.
Oh boy.
Gosh,
But that's what that's
we said
from.
we're talking about contract.
But yes. So at the end of the 2027 season, if we are still garbage, then I will be ready to invest my next quarterback alliance to who's probably DJ Lagway. He'll be out by then.
I will say to Tim's credit, and like I said, he's always rode with this guy, and I do think that in the last couple of years, especially, there has been a lot of case studies in quarterbacks who get thrown into starting roles really early on pretty bad teams, and they struggle. Bryce Young is the most recent, but also like Baker Mayfield of it all, starting the Cleveland Browns and just everyone kind of looking like he's a bust, and then all of a sudden goes to Tampa Bay and he becomes a great quarterback.
Well, first Baker goes to the Rams and gets coached up there by a young assistant named Liam Cohen, and then goes to the Bucs.
Okay, gotcha. Liam Cohen, he's the quarterback whisperer.
He might be the key.
He could be. But we've seen a couple quarterbacks who's taken some big steps and jumped into some bigger roles. So once they have some new coaching, some new talent around them, so who knows? I think there is definitely potential for that. Most quarterbacks don't just jump in the league, and they're just because most really elite quarterbacks don't jump in on good teams. This is kind of the reality,
right?
But most don't stick around as long as Trevor Lawrence has stuck around at the Jags, and so I think there's certainly potential. Could be a fun year. Could also be heartbreaking. Who's to say?
My phone could get deactivated. Things go certain ways.
Just like receipts overflowing, just thousands of receipts. If something goes poorly for the Jags this year. So. Okay. We always say we're going to do less Jags Titans talk, and here we are.
And then we do more.
Yeah, we're never going to do less.
It's the agitating group text that we get that get us fired up. That's what it is. I'm just sitting at work on a Wednesday morning, and I get blown up about the Titans going to laser tag.
Listen, all I do is I share what the Titans are doing, and then it's as simple as that. I will send the Titans went to go do laser tag the night before, and then Kyle will respond with, Trevor Lawrence is the second biggest bust since Jamar Russell. Just something crazy.
And then Tins will say, Steve McNair had some problems on and off the field. Whatever. The conversations get derailed pretty quick. So, okay, football's almost back, guys. We're almost. I would talk about real football. So we're close.
We're so close. I'm gonna be in Jacksonville in like 17 days.
Electric.
That's right.
We see some content live on field or in the stadium at least.
Macy's gonna bring a sign. We're gonna try to get Trevor to give her something.
Nice.
Use the little kids.
Can you let him hear recording this podcast?
I might float it to him. I got some stickers. I'm like, hey man, check this out.
Get to get behind the bench and just get a loudspeaker and just play it.
Do a cut up of all the Titans Jags arguments.
Here, Trevor, we're comparing you to Ryan Tannehill in 2019. Okay, so we do have some more actual football talk for you today. Now that our time is getting way out of hand, we're going to move quickly here because I do want to get. We would just skip it, but we only have 2 weeks left to cover the rest of the SEC teams over unders. College football is very quickly coming. We have 2 weeks until kickoff for the all of the teams. Week 1 official, and so I've got 3 more teams. We're going to go quickly through this, and you guys can help give me some of your opinions. 3 teams with 8.5 over under wins. We're at our final 6 teams in the SEC. These are projected to win the most games according to the odds market. And so today we're covering Tennessee, who you could fairly say are schedule merchants this year, where you're covering Tennessee, Ole Miss, and LSU.
Tennessee just named their starting quarterback.
They did. I was going to say that. I just got a notification during this recording. Joey Aguilar officially named starting quarterback. Let's go ahead and talk some Tennessee while we're here, because I do unfortunately feel like Tennessee is a little bit outside of this conversation probably. Tennessee, if you look at their schedule, it is the schedule is probably the easiest in the SEC. I don't even know if that's like debatable. Tennessee, Missouri are kind of a toss up for who has the easiest schedule. And so that's Tennessee's only real like thing to hang their hat on this year. Tennessee also, I'll say that, but their defense has a lot returning at a very elite defense last year. That was the reason they made the playoff. Obviously, had some issues. Nico Iamaleava transfers to UCLA unexpectedly, leaving a gap at quarterback into what was going to be one of our surest positions. Joey Aguilar just named the starting quarterback, who used to be at UCLA and previously was at Appalachian State before that. He has basically not played in a full year, though, and he's learning a brand new system that is famously pretty complicated in Josh Heupel's quarterback system. There's just a lot to it. It's moving fast. Let's do a quick. So non-conference is actually pretty uneventful here. I think that they tried to schedule an interesting non-conference game in Atlanta against Syracuse as the first game of the season. The Syracuse team was pretty good last year. Is much less good this year from what I've heard. I think Syracuse does not have a lot returning and could be pretty bad. In fact, the rest of the non-conference is ETSU, UAB, and New Mexico State University. So if we count all four of those as wins, you can get into the regular. So the over under is 8.5. So you got to get to 9 wins to go over. They also see this is where it gets tricky because they also have the benefit of playing literally all 4 of the bottom 4 rated SEC teams. They play Mississippi State on the road. We host Arkansas. You're going to Kentucky and hosting Vanderbilt. So let's call all 4 of those as wins as well, just for fun. You're at 8 wins so far. So let's talk about the rest of the schedule then. You've got 4 games. You just need to win 1 to go over. You're hosting Georgia early. You're going to Alabama. You're hosting Oklahoma. And you're going to the Swamp in Florida where they haven't won in 20 years. Yeah, this one's tricky for me. I mean, I think any Tennessee fan would tell you that's kind of the calculus there. You want to get to 9 wins, you win 1 of those games. You want to make a playoff, you got to win 2 of the games. Yeah, are they winning 2 of those games? I'm gonna say probably not.
Yeah.
Best hope is that Florida has fallen off the rails at that point, and Lagway is like not playing well, or he's not been playing at all because he's injured, or they've lost a bunch because they have a tough schedule and they're on the verge of kind of giving up. Billy Napier's job's on the line, whatever. At Alabama is a place that Tennessee's not played very well at all recently. Georgia has just pretty much since 2016 has just crushed us. And then, like I said, in the Swamp has been just an absolute death trap for the Vols since in about 20 years. So the quarterback situation, from what I've heard coming out of camp, is not very good. The entire passing game, from what I've heard, is not very good. This team is going to rely on the run game. It's going to rely on the tight end play, I think, to push the passing game forward. Wide receiver is pretty thin, and they're going to rely on the defense to really limit the number of points scored. Tens, what do you got here? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Aguilar's played for a long time, but I'm not a big fan of our receiver core. Our defensive line got depleted. Lott was drafted. Yep. James Pierce was drafted. I feel like there's some questions in the secondary. We got the guy who's on the team but not on the team kind of situation.
Boo Carter.
Yeah, Boo Carter. But still, I think we win the games that you said. So we just have to win 1. And I'm so low on Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I might be the only one because everything I see on the streets is Oklahoma's the sleeper team this year. Blah, 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 blah. No, sorry, Brent Venables is a bad coach. He's bad. He's bad at his job. He's a bad recruiter. He was a Clemson merchant, and Clemson was a Dabo merchant, and Dabo was a Trevor Lawrence merchant.
Trevor Lawrence merchant. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you, I think I'm going under 8.5 wins. I believe in setting expectations low. I think there's a chance that we drop one of the. I mean, I gave us all 8 of those wins. I think those aren't for sure things. We lost to Arkansas last year.
Arkansas, Kentucky, Vandy, like we could drop one of those. You know,
I mean, Vanderbilt's proven that they can beat the big boys. That wouldn't be a shock anymore. They'd beat Oklahoma and Alabama.
Yeah.
I just think that this is going to be a little bit of a rebuild year. We have 5-star quarterback coming in next year. We have a starting quarterback that was at UCLA last year and didn't really play at all. I mean, he was the biggest winner of the Nico situation. He went from being the starter at UCLA to the starter at Tennessee by doing nothing. I mean, he literally just inherited the job somehow. I hope he's good. I think they could win 9 games potentially. I just think there's too many question marks around the team. I think that's kind of the consensus around college football. I think a lot of people are thinking that they're not really pushing for a playoff spot as much this year, which there's lots happened. So it's not a shock. Mason, you have any thoughts on Tennessee before we move on?
Nope, you guys did a great job breaking that down.
Thank you, Mason.
Have you seen like any tape from starting quarterback? Like, do you know?
They don't release a lot, to be honest.
Okay, I didn't know.
I know that at Appalachian State, he tended to throw a lot of interceptions. He's pretty aggressive. He was like a gunslinger. It was kind of his how he was categorized, which you can get away with it at a place like App State, I feel like. You can make mistakes and not just get immediately just penalized for it, where in the SEC that doesn't happen as often.
Mm-hmm.
I think the run game is going to be very good. I think that Heupel's offense is kind of a plug and play for the run. That he has a lot of elite running backs come from his program. So I don't know. My expectations are pretty low. If we get into 9 wins, I think that's a huge win for the organization. If we somehow got to 10 wins, that would be an incredible season. So that's where I'm at.
This is super. Yep. Sorry. I was just reading something. The Jags just traded for a Saints defensive tackle. We just played each other in 3 hours ago, and then they just traded us one of their defensive tackles. That's very random.
While we're doing the random stuff,
Liam Cohen's like, I want that guy. Get him on. Get him over here.
We haven't even left New Orleans yet. He can just pack up his stuff and hop on our plane and be.
What if he did it on the field, like at halftime? They made him trade jerseys.
That's crazy.
That'd be kind of sick, actually.
That happened for MLB this year,
baseball.
Twice.
Yeah,
where they actually did change jerseys and then go pitch for the other team. That awesome. Legitimately happened. I heard about that. Okay, sorry. Good little intermission there. No, I'm here for it.
This guy is 6 feet tall, 340 pounds. It's a nose tackle, baby.
He's thick.
That's a lot of man.
Okay, so we got 2 more teams to cover today. Let's go ahead and go to Ole Miss. 8.5 over/under wins. I will say Ole Miss is in the bottom third of the toughest SEC schedules. They also benefit from playing a lot of the bottom tier teams. Lane Kiffin, obviously, last year was seen as kind of the need to get it done year with Jackson Dart. They had a lot that left to the NFL. They lost a lot of players. I actually have a list of them. They had 2 first-rounders go, Walter Nolan and Jackson Dart. 2 second-rounders go, Trey Harris and Trey Amos. A 3rd-rounder, a 4th-rounder, a 5th-rounder, and a 6th-rounder. So they had 8 total players drafted last year. That's a lot. And
surely that team went far in the playoffs, right?
They did not, which has become kind of a Lane Kiffin and Texas A&M as a whole program have a can't win the big one type of mentality right now. I feel like around them. Lane Kiffin is he's going to put a good team on the field, but he can't take the jump to elite and can't take the jump to that 10 win or 11 win slots. He's going to drop a few. And so that's where they were last year. Jackson Dart. I mean, they had the best team they were probably going to have. He went out and found some additions in the portal. He is very good at playing the portal and picking up some guys that he needed. They have their quarterback position actually is not in bad shape. Austin Simmons, he's a junior. He's been with Ole Miss, so he was not a transfer. A lot of people really like him, are saying he looks pretty good. But they are replacing a lot on the wide receivers. They're replacing a lot of those guys, plus a lot of their defensive line cornerbacks. So a pretty tricky situation. Like Tennessee, their non-conference is kind of pedestrian. They've got Georgia State, Tulane, Washington State, and Citadel. I'm going to give all 4 of those as wins. So congrats, Ole Miss, on those wins. So let's see what they have left. They actually, like Tennessee, they play all 4 of the bottom 4 SEC teams. So a very similar schedule. They play Mississippi State, Kentucky, Arkansas. No, they don't play Vanderbilt. They play 3 of the 4.
Yeah.
So they have those 3. The rest of their schedule is not easy though. So I'm gonna give them 7 wins right now. Here are the rest of their 5 games. They host LSU. That's gonna have a lot of implications, that game there. That could be like a playoff game in the first half of the season, essentially. Both of these teams are going to be fighting for playoff spots, I think.
I
LSU
hate both of them.
and Ole
I'm
Miss.
so down on both of them.
I'm just telling you.
I know. I'm like one of
happen.
the only ones. Like Nussmeier, I know we're not on LSU yet, but I'm so down on them too.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nussmeier has only been a mediocre quarterback so far in college.
I'm like down on the whole SEC, honestly. Like I keep looking at all their win totals and I'm like under.
Tends to just take under on every team.
But somebody's going to win these games. Well, no, I took the over on Missouri because they're schedule merchants.
Facts. Yeah, I mean, it could be true. I think we'll talk about LSU in a second. They're another team like Lane Kiffin. LSU and Ole Miss have a lot of similarities in that coaches have been good but not great. They've not gone over the hump and made it to the playoff and made it to postseason play. They lose 1 or 2 big games in the regular season. That just kind of cuts their season short. So huge game hosting LSU there. They go to Georgia. They go to Oklahoma. And they host South Carolina and Florida. You've got to win 2 of those games to hit the over. I mean, I think. See, the Florida situation is very tricky late in the season.
So tricky, man.
Florida and South Carolina both are ones that make you scared to. Like, I'm gonna maybe split those games. They're playing both back to back at home at Ole Miss. I just think it would be tough to beat both those teams in a row with kind of the rosters and their build. South Carolina is going to beat you up. Playing 2 good quarterbacks, mobile quarterbacks.
Both their quarterbacks are similar. They want to run. They're good athletes. They both have good run games behind them at the running back position and a good defensive line. So
the tricky part is there's probably a bye game. I don't have the bye weeks labeled, but they're like back to back to back to back to back. LSU, Georgia, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Florida are all kind of consecutive. And so the question is really, do they win 2 out of those 5 games? I want to say they win 1 of either South Carolina or Florida.
Yeah.
So then you have 1 left between hosting LSU, going to Georgia, going to Oklahoma. I know Tim's down on Oklahoma as well.
I'm so down on them,
This one's tricky to predict because I think the Austin Simmons of it all is kind of a big question mark.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people predicting. I think I'm going over. I just think they're gonna win one of those three. I don't think they're gonna beat Georgia on the road, but I think hosting LSU, going to Oklahoma, they can win one of those two. I think is my math.
Yeah, probably. Yep. Kiffin's like a good enough coach. They'll hit that.
They could hit 9 wins and still not make the playoffs, which would be pretty funny. I think that's a very valid possibility.
And then he takes the Florida job. It's just a year later.
That would be something. Okay, our last team today. We're gonna move through this. This team we've just talked about, LSU. Brian Kelly, Garrett Nussmeier, one of those premier returning. They're rated top 10 in the nation in the first AP poll. I think a lot because of Garrett Nussmeier's return, which wasn't very good last year, but he is a year older. They do benefit from a not bad SEC schedule. They do not benefit from a non-conference schedule that includes playing Clemson in week 1. That maybe it's the second biggest game of week 1, only to Texas, Ohio State. Clemson, LSU, it's a very fun matchup. Clemson has played Georgia in this slot last year and got smacked.
It's pretty
Clemson,
bad.
a lot of people are expecting Clemson's going to be much, much better this year. They also have a returning quarterback in Cade Klubnik. So that's going to be a very fun first game of the season. I think Clemson is favored in that game. So that's going to be a tough one. The rest of their non-conference is Louisiana Tech, Southeast Louisiana, and Western Kentucky. Yeah, fun stuff there. So looking at their SEC schedule after that, so I've got 3 for sure wins. I'm going to count Clemson as a loss for LSU. We've got hosting Florida, going to Ole Miss, a game that we said could be very important for both of these programs. They host South Carolina. They go to Vandy. They host Texas A&M. They go to Alabama. They host Arkansas. And they go to Oklahoma. Both these teams have to travel to Oklahoma, which I think was pretty low-key last year because they were pretty bad. I do think that road trip is a little different if Oklahoma is pushing and is playing a lot better. So let's go ahead and give them 3 wins. I'm going to say Arkansas's a win, Vanderbilt's a win, so that's 5. I will tell you that Florida, Ole Miss, South Carolina as your first 3 SEC games is not an easy schedule at all there. And then they have Alabama and Texas A&M back-to-back later on in the season. That Clemson game could mess up this over-under, though. They do feel like an 8 or 9 win team, but LSU always feels like a 9 win team. That's like their thing,
But I don't feel like this team is as loaded, and Brian Kelly to me is not the coach that gets them over the hump of. He's just not a good coach. He's just not.
It's a game that Florida has to win early if they want to push for any kind of playoff. Like if they lose that game, they're in trouble. Ole Miss, like I said, as well is pushing there. I think I'm going under. I'm not sure I believe in this LSU team.
I definitely don't. I would almost say go ahead and bet Florida to beat them.
Yeah,
beat LSU, but it's a night game early in the season. I'm a little
that's always a huge piece. Going to Alabama, even going to Oklahoma, they're going to Ole Miss. There's a couple of losses there, I feel like, and then they play some good teams.
Yeah.
They have to play Clemson as well. So even if you just say they lose to Clemson, they lose on the road at Alabama, they lose on the road at Ole Miss, and they lose to like Oklahoma or Florida, there's your 8 wins.
Yeah, so I like under for them too.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, there you have it, folks. I always say I'm going to be quick through those, and I never am quick. So sorry. Do we want to wrap up with some NFL talk?
Yeah, I had one future player prop I wanted to give out, and this is just based off of what I've seen in his career and what I have seen this preseason and training camp. Guys, Justin Fields might be really bad at throwing a football forward. I'm pulling up his. Yeah, here we go. Under 2,551 yards. Under is plus 100. Now I took this a week ago. That might not be plus 100 anymore. He's looked really bad. He is getting absolutely roasted on Twitter. There's been obvious frustration from the head coach and Garrett Wilson during their first two preseason games. And he is a mobile quarterback. He has gotten injured before with not like big injuries, but like missed a couple games. You always have that risk with a mobile quarterback. So I'm going to take. I like his under. Anything under 25.50 is good with me. And under his passing yard or passing touchdown prop, I think it was like 17.5, that's a crazy number for a starting quarterback.
I like it. Well, for someone that has been a Justin Fields fan in the past, just seeing a lot of the preseason stuff makes me very nervous. And training camp, there's a video going around of just like all these like insane misses passing wise. So we'll see what happens. But if you want to link that up, I've seen a lot of wide receiver Wilson, Garrett Wilson unders as well. Just based on the quarterback play. So we'll see what happens. This is the only one thing that I don't have a prop for this, but just keep an eye out for this in the rumor mill. This kind of just dropped a little bit before the pod. Brian Thomas Jr. Have you heard about this, Tins?
What?
Running back for the Commanders.
Brian Robinson.
Brian Robinson.
I was also like,
Yeah,
Brian Robinson. Sorry,
we're at an hour, but if you want to get in a fight, we can go because I thought you were about to try to say something slanderous about my king.
Brian Robinson. Yes, sorry, there we go. Brian Robinson is in the trade rumor mill right now. So everybody's wondering, there might be an opportunity if you keep an eye out for a late sleeper if he ends up 7th round pick, and I may be butchering this name, but Ja'Cory Crosskey Merritt. Does that sound right?
I don't know. I got him in Dynasty like 2 weeks ago. I picked him up everywhere because I saw the hype. It was building.
I mean, there's a lot of training camp plays surfacing, a lot of preseason. So he plays tomorrow in preseason. So we'll see what happens there. But just keep an eye out for that name as well. Late flyer.
Robinson Jr. is going to end up a Cincinnati Bengal.
You heard it here first. Not Brian Thomas Jr., Brian Robinson.
Yeah, don't. I was like, what are you doing?
I felt Tins about to fight. I was like, oh.
No. I didn't have it. I had the rookie quarterback's name pulled up, but I went blank on the Commanders trade rumor mill thing. I didn't have that pulled up, so there we go. That's what I was looking at. I'm like, hey, help me out here. I feel like that's not right.
No, I thought you were like,
no, Tim's not all the time. I want to fight with you. Okay,
I was getting
it seems like it in the last
what you were looking at
10
me,
days.
I was like, what is he doing? Is he trying to just call me up?
No, not this time. Maybe later. Tomorrow morning while I'm at work.
Okay.
I'll start taking shots. All right. Good work, everybody. Is that a pod?
Great work.
All right. Well, since we got 3 great works, I'll wrap us up here. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of the Next Scott podcast. Make sure to tune in to our TikTok page. We'll be posting some scenes from today's episode as well as for future episodes. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks and have a great day.